My name is Brian, and welcome back to Desert Theory. Well, race weekend's over, and it's back to prepping the car for the next race. Okay, so last night Kelly had the transaxle fluid drained. He drained it into a bucket, it drained all night, and what he's doing right now is he's running it all through a paint filter. The auto body shop had a paint filter out here, so we're just using that to see if there's any metal chunks, metal flakes in that transaxle oil.
I don't expect anything. You?
I don't expect anything. What Kelly and I haven't said a whole bunch about is we think either something's the matter with the clutch or we think something's going on with the motor. We're not quite sure, so we're really anxious to get this transaxle out of there, look at the clutch, and if that isn't an issue, to get the motor out and see what's going on with that. So big night, kind of answer some questions that we had right towards the end of the race. Okay, so we're both working on getting the transaxle out of here. I'm getting the axles out. Kelly's working on the exhaust and the O2 sensor. We're just gonna kind of work our way through this, get all this other extra equipment off to where we're ready to get that transaxle pulled tonight. Kelly and I were just kind of laughing. So we have a whole 250 miles on this race car and we're taking it all apart again. So we've talked about it quite a few times. If you don't like working on cars, off-road racing is really not the thing to do, because this is a huge part of it. This is probably the major part of it, or the majority of off-road racing is your prep and how good you take all this stuff apart.
Yeah, if you want to be successful, for sure, you got to put in the prep and get it all dialed in. So this is what it takes.
So we have the transaxle all loose. Before we bring the engine hoist in here, with the back cage being so tall, we're gonna get that cage ripped off of there real quick. It unbolts, and it's just gonna make the engine hoist, we'll actually be able to lift that transaxle up over it. So we'll see how that goes. Never done it.
See how it goes.
Brent Miller said that Corky McMillan got him right here, right after he bought it from him. So all those dents are from Corky.
Little love tap.
Just letting him know that he wasn't gonna get beat in his own car.
It's a good story, yeah. What do you think we could just peel it out of here, you and me? Or is it a backbreaker?
It's a lot different than that one. It's up there and stop.
I All right. Okay. All right. Oh, fuck. I think it's the bolts. I think it's the fucking bolts that hold that flywheel on. Let's pull the pressure plate off. The clutch. Got it.
You got it all?
Got it all.
Woo!
Oh, jeez. So yeah, this does not look good. That's something we did. Should have left those. Holy shit. probably destroy that thing.
Yep, this is garbage.
Yep. Well, we were gonna put a new clutch in it anyways.
Mm-hmm. So you can see these.
They're egg shaped, not round. The holes are.
But we were gonna
Not
replace
good.
it anyway. These teeth are really bad from the starter that was on it before, and we filed a bunch of them. So
Yeah, we were gonna get a new clutch set up anyways. Just kind of speeds up that process a little bit.
yeah.
The rear main seal's dry, which is good. That's one of those things we did after we bought the car. No leaky leak there. These bolts are toast. So do you think what do you think happened? Do you think they, I mean, because we had to shorten them. We had to shorten these bolts. They're like a GM Chevy V8 bolt, but the crank is all custom racing crank. So we shortened them so they wouldn't hit the case of the motor.
Totally what it was.
So we're sitting here talking, and our flywheel was loose. We already showed you that, but Kelly just figured out why. So we ordered these bolts, and they came in, and they were too long. And then we had to cut them down. And what we didn't look at is when Kelly puts his bolt through here, you'll be able to see.
So there's a shoulder where it's not threaded all the way up to the head. So this is thin enough, this part of the clutch flywheel, where you put it through. So the bolt was tightening up, but it was just running out of threads. And so it didn't actually tighten the head of the bolt against the crank on the motor, the crankshaft. So that's why the bolts didn't back out and fall out, because they were tight. They'd snugged up against the end of their threads. But the flywheel was not tight to the motor.
So like we torqued the bolts, everything was good. We just didn't tighten the flywheel to the motor. Luckily, it just egg-shaped out the holes in the flywheel. Didn't appear to do anything to the crank, so we're looking good there. We always say it's a good prep and driving smart, and then being a little lucky is what it takes to do good at racing. And well, today that was lucky.
Yeah, we got lucky. It all through. You know, we didn't catch it.
And so I'm not giving any excuses for us, but I will say that sometimes the midnight hour is not the best time to do this kind of work. And so when we're not careful, sometimes when we're not just reassembling something, but we're doing it for the first time, or something's changed, sometimes this stuff will sneak by you at midnight or 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning. So, so for example, it's 12:10 right now on a Thursday. Kelly's working tomorrow. We worked a full day. There's a lot of life that happens besides just racing, and sometimes it ends up and stuff like that. But man, it made it through the race, and it's sure a lot better when you learn a lesson and you still get second place. So we're pretty happy right now. Probably even happier than we were when we got here about getting second place. So pretty cool moment here.